Welcome to the Times Are Changing podcast. My name is Chase. I'm joined here with Zach. We are the COO and CEO of Golden Aspect. This is a podcast about cutting-edge strategies in digital and social media marketing.
In today's episode, we're going to dive into the important differences between post promotions and paid ad campaigns on Facebook and Instagram. We're also going to talk about the situations in which you should be using each one and why. Without any further ado, let's jump right in.
So this is a little bit more of a technical episode, just a heads up off the bat. This is something that I highly recommend you take a look at on our website or on our newsletter, just so you have a little bit of a visual to follow along with. If you have some experience in the past with Facebook and Instagram advertising, this might be a little bit easier to picture, but we'll do our best along the way to explain everything. But just a heads up that we're going to get into a little bit more technical stuff in this episode because it's important to understand. These are important differences. These are important things to understand whether you're doing the advertising or working with someone who does. And so what we're going to be talking about today are the two main places you can put your money on Facebook and Instagram. That is post promotions and Facebook ad campaigns. Zach, you want to tell us a little bit more?
Absolutely. So first of all, if you've ever done any sort of advertising in Facebook or Instagram, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But what you're going to notice right off the bat, the difference between these two things is massive. Like when you go to set up a paid ad campaign, there's like 6 different pages you got to click through. There's tons of different things you can change. It looks really, really complicated to somebody who hasn't spent a lot of time in it before. Versus when you go to do a post promotion, one little window pops up, you change a couple of options, and boom, you're good to go. So there's a lot of significant differences, and like Chase said, we're going to get really specific into some of those today. But right off the bat, both of these advertising options come with the same basic targeting options for who your ad is going to be shown to. So same thing with Facebook ads, same thing with post promotions. You're going to be able to target specifically by location, age, gender, and interests. Meaning you can type in people who are interested in jewelry, and your ad will only be shown to people who have a demonstrated interest in jewelry. And so this is the same with both of them. However, there's lots of other specific options that Facebook ads gives you that post promotions don't.
So if you've ever tried this on your own, you may have actually done a post promotion and perhaps thought it was an ad campaign or vice versa. However, it's most common that people do post promotions. If you've ever done a Instagram ad through the app itself, that automatically is going to be a post promotion because all of Instagram advertising from a paid ad campaign's perspective is actually done through Facebook. So some people, if you're new to this world, pretty much everything is run through the whole Facebook ads manager. And that's a really important component of these paid ad campaigns. But before we dive into the paid ad campaigns, because they're a little bit more complicated, just a few more notes on a post promotion. Most importantly, you're limited to the actual posts that you have on your account. If you have an Instagram account that's a business account, it's quite easy. You can actually open it up right now as you're listening to this. And if you go to any of your recent posts, you'll see an option in blue to promote. And basically what this lets you do is send that post out to your followers and to other people that you target by different interests. And this is actually a very important feature, and if used correctly, can be very effective. However, you're not able to promote anything that you haven't posted to your account. And you're not able to promote anything that isn't basically public. So it's important to remember that these posts that you're promoting have to be posted to your account. And another important feature that sometimes people don't realize is after you've promoted that post, you won't be able to ever change anything about that post. You can't change the caption, you can't change the location, you can't change any of the hashtags. None of that can be changed after it's promoted. So once you choose to promote something like that, you're sort of locked in. And so that's something really important to remember.
The important thing about not being able to change anything about your promoted post means that your ad is locked in exactly the way that it is. And if you think back to episode 1, if you guys did get a chance to listen to that episode, we talked a lot about the idea of split testing, changing little things here and there within your ads to then optimize to the best and highest converting areas depending on, the copy or the creative, meaning the caption text, the headline text, or the image. This is a direct contrast to how the Facebook ads work in the ads manager. When you're creating a paid Facebook ads campaign, you have the option to set multiple options for your primary caption text, for your headline, for your description, or even for the image. And Facebook will run that ad and test every single one of those different options automatically that you gave to them, and it will automatically optimize to the best performing image, caption, headline, description, all of that stuff. It'll do all of it for you. Like Chase said, when you're doing a post promotion, you're locked in. You can't change any of those things once you've promoted the post.
And because you're locked in with these post promotions, it's very important that you have a solid creative. Generally, videos are going to be good for this type of promotion because they're more engaging, but it's also very important that you're confident in this promotion. And it's a little bit difficult because, like Zach said, there's no split test ability. And so it's kind of hard to see what the results could have been if you had done that same promotion with, say, a different post. You can obviously do the same targeting and the same budget with two different posts. That's a way to sort of pseudo split test, but it's not going to work in the same way that it does in paid ad campaigns.
Post promotions are also limited to either showing on only Facebook or Instagram. Those are the only two options that you have when setting up a post promotion. Versus when you're setting up a Facebook paid ads campaign, if you've ever gotten a look at a Facebook ads manager, there is literally dozens of placement options for Facebook ads. You can have them show up on Instagram feeds, on Instagram stories, on Facebook stories, Facebook Marketplace, in-stream on videos on Facebook or Instagram, search results, in articles or even Messenger, and even apps that Facebook is partnered with. So not even Facebook or Instagram, like random other apps that you might be using, you might be seeing ads popped up that are actually Facebook ads from Facebook because they have an agreement with that company to advertise on their app. So there is tons of different options to be able to split test, again, with your Facebook ads, as opposed to post promotions. You're either running the post directly to an Instagram feed or you're running it directly to a Facebook feed.
And with post promotions, essentially what you're given as a goal is you can either set a direct link to your profile, your account, your brand's profile. You can also link to another website, and you can also link to direct messages. Now, these are three great options, and like we said, post promotions do have their place and are very important, especially when it comes to brand growth. However, it's important to remember that post promotions in this way as well are more limited in the targeting options that you have. In contrast, paid ad campaigns can be optimized for a much wider variety of different things. For example, they can be optimized for conversions, which is essentially optimizing for direct revenue. They can also optimize for lead generation, store traffic, app installs, link clicks, and a bunch of other options. However, when it comes to promoting your account and linking to a brand account, those are what post promotions are most effective for. And so in that way, there's kind of a bit of a split when it comes to the goals on these two. And that kind of is going to lead us in part two into a little bit more of the differences and when you should be using each of these two different types of ads.
This episode of Times Are Changing is brought to you by Golden Aspect, our company. We're a digital media and marketing agency that specializes in a one contact for everything social approach and completely integrated marketing campaigns.
We emphasize high touch, strong client relationships, and fully integrated marketing approaches. Each of our marketers are proficient in every service we offer and are reachable 7 days a week by text or call. This reliable communication and interaction with your business ensures your contact will be equipped to handle anything you need anytime you need it.
If you want to learn more about what Golden Aspect can do for your business or a friend's business, please feel free to check out our website, www.goldenaspect.com. That is www.goldenaspect.com.
1,
Choosing the right way to spend your money on Facebook or Instagram directly depends on what you are trying to achieve. As we talked about earlier in the podcast, there's some really, really core differences between post promotions and paid ad campaigns, especially in the realm of being able to split test and target really, really specifically. So, like we said, targeting and testing, specifically split testing options, are significantly better in the Facebook ads campaigns as compared to promoted post. You can get really, really specific in where you want your ad to show up, the types of people you want your ad to show up. You can test tons of different things about your ad, everything from the creative through the copy. And what this does is give you an entire arsenal of tools to be able to narrow in on a very specific type of audience for a very specific type of conversion event that you're looking to drive. Say you're trying to get leads for a real estate business. Say you have an online store and you're trying to get people that are willing and interested to actually purchase your product from that store. Say you're trying to get rental reservations for cars. These are all really specific conversion events that you're trying to drive through social media, and running your ads through the Facebook ads campaign is going to allow you to target in on that niche audience really, really easily, especially if you're testing multiple different areas and you're able to sort of consolidate and isolate in on those high converting areas.
Facebook ad campaigns are very data driven, especially with the split tests. Is something we're going to go back to a lot. Split tests are extremely important because it allows you to look at the data and decide which one is doing better. Obviously, as we mentioned before, in contrast, post promotions don't allow you to split test. However, one of the big downsides of Facebook ad campaigns is that they're inherently disconnected from a company's social media pages, and they almost always, with the exception of page-like campaigns, which is a specific type of ad campaign that's sort of different from everything we've talked about, so we won't get too much into that, but they always link out to another website. And so in that way, Facebook ad campaigns really struggle to increase brand awareness. And this is an area, like we talked about before, one of the goals that you can set for a post promotion is allowing users to visit your company's brand account. And that's an incredibly useful way to get people to look at your page, to boost engagement. And this is something that you're not going to see out of Facebook ad campaigns. So it's very important to remember that in terms of boosting engagement and in terms of growing your social accounts for a brand, post promotions in that way, especially if you figured out ones that work. Like we said, it's a little bit harder to narrow in on that data, but you can, like we said, by doing basically pseudo split tests between different post promotions, you're able to over time get a sense of what works. And those are really, really important for growing a social media account, in addition to also running these Facebook ad campaigns.
Post promotions really allow people who may not have even ever heard of your brand to sort of get a glimpse of what your company is doing on social media on a regular basis. Because remember, post promotions inherently are one of your posts. It's something that you're putting out to your followers already that you're hoping that they'll want to engage with. So by promoting that post and putting it in front of more people, you're sort of sorting out more people who are going to be legitimately interested in the content that you're already putting on social, which is exactly the type of person that you want following your social media accounts in the first place, right? You want to bring in those people who are interested in the kind of stuff that you're already putting out. So post promotions are an absolutely fantastic way to get qualified followers interested in your brand on social media. And like Chase was saying, most of the time with post promotions, there's a little button right there that you can have redirect directly to your profile so that if somebody sees your brand, somebody sees your post, they're interested in just kind of what you're doing on a broader level. They click that button, they go straight to your profile, and they can get a look at your company as a whole. They can scroll through your feed and see all the different things that you've been posting. And then there, obviously in the description, you'll have your website linked or whatever else you're trying to push at the time. And if they're that interested, they can then go on to convert. The difference is you're bringing people in from a wider view of your brand as a whole compared to specifically targeting niche audiences to convert on a specific offer or item that you are trying to sell. So from an overarching principle standpoint, post promotions are great at showing your company and brand to people who have never heard of it before, while targeted ad campaigns are much more specific and great for targeting niche audiences which may have never heard of you before, but you're not really targeting them to get them interested in your brand as a whole. You're targeting them to sell the product that is on your site. You're targeting them in hopes that they take advantage of the 20% off deal that you're running right now. You're not really looking to get them to follow your Instagram page and stay engaged with your brand as a whole. You're looking to get them to convert right now.
And one of the things about post promotions is that they're generally targeted to a wider audience on purpose. It's something that you'll want to do because you want to bring in as many potential leads as possible. Obviously, you never want to have something too broad, but it is going to be broader. And what that's going to do is bring down the cost. And so from a cost perspective, post promotions are generally much cheaper than direct conversion campaigns or pretty much any other type of Facebook ad campaign. And so in that way, we're not going to talk too much about this, but when you're looking at a budget, what you're able to do is sort of spend more money on Facebook conversions and those type of leads, because obviously it's super important to be driving that ROI. But at the same time, for not a crazy amount of money, you're also able to really promote and foster brand awareness and grow your brand accounts in tandem to those direct ad conversions. And this is kind of something that we're going to preview a little bit on this episode and talk more in depth on a future episode. But it's this idea that you need to both maintain brand awareness and be driving conversions through social media. These two things are part of the entire marketing funnel. And in that way, you're going to make sure that you're cultivating potential customers while at the same time driving conversions and bringing in that ROI, that revenue that you actually need to keep the business going. But it's important to not forget about either component, because both of these fill the entire marketing funnel, ensure that you're bringing in potential interested customers, having them engage with your brand. And then when they finally become those people that see those targeted ads for that specific item that you're selling, they're going to be in a much better place to convert. And that in that way, you're going to be able to take them through sort of the entire marketing process from engagement to closing.
It can be really easy to see the ROI of direct conversions in your Facebook Ads Manager and not want to waste or spend any money on your brand awareness. But that brand awareness spend, those post promotions, that stuff that's going to be driving people to your profiles is also going to be increasing your online credibility. It feeds into everything that we were talking about over the last couple episodes and will continue to talk about in terms of consistency and building momentum on social media, on driving more people to your accounts to build up the following and the engagement that you have on your pages. It's all part of one big machine, and it's really, really not in your best interest to leave out large segments of this social media marketing funnel like brand awareness.
Yeah, brand awareness is the same on social as it is anywhere else. It's the same type of marketing funnel. It's just that in this space, the types of ads that you run are different. And I hope that from this episode, you've understood a little bit better some of those differences and exactly when to use post promotions, when to use paid ad campaigns, and sort of the difference and the importance of both, because they are both very important. And without one, you're going to have an imbalance in your marketing funnel. If you're not promoting enough on the brand awareness, you're not going to end up seeing as many direct conversions because you're not going to have as many potential customers, as many people engaged with your brand. And like Zach said, it also does, post-promotion specifically, serve a very important purpose in sort of elevating your brand and boosting that credibility in a world where there's so many different accounts on social media. There's so many people with credibility. It's very important to be constantly promoting your account so that you stand out from the rest, because it's very easy as a business to get lost, to have your account get lost in the sea of social media accounts. And so by constantly promoting your brand awareness, by getting your brand out there more and more, you're able to rise to the top. And from an organic perspective, also show up in people's feeds and people's explore in a more organic way. So these paid post promotions are also helping you in an organic fashion on social media. So they sort of feed into that organic momentum that you're building. And so in that way, they're very important, in addition, obviously, to direct conversions, because at the end of the day, driving revenue will always be very important. But maintaining a balance between both is an important thing to remember when creating a holistic social media marketing plan.
And that's about where we're going to wrap things up. Make sure you follow us on all of our social platforms. We upload weekly podcasts every Tuesday. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the Times Are Changing podcast, and we'll see you all next week. If you enjoyed listening to this week's podcast, please check us out on social media, Instagram at Golden Aspect Media. If you want to learn more about what our company can do for your business, please check out our website, www.goldenaspect.com. We offer everything from content creation, social media account management, to digital ad marketing campaigns.
Look, if you made it this far, you're obviously interested in this stuff. And are you doing it? Is your company doing it? If you're not, you really should be, because you're missing out, and we're here to help. So send us a message, send us an email, give us a call. We'll be here, ready to help. Take care.